Keep your fingers out of my eye. While I write, I like to glance at the butterflies in glass that are all around the walls. The people in memory are pinned to events I can't recall too well, but I'm putting one down to watch him break up, decompose, and feed another sort of life. The one in question is all fully biodegradable material and categorized as rail. Rail hates me. I like rail. Yes, even ostriches have feelings, but our relationship is something both of us are learning to live with. Rail likes a good time. I like a good rhyme, but you don't see me directly anymore. He hates my being around, so if this story doesn't stand, I might lend you a hand. You understand? I.e., the rhyme is planned, dummies. Hi, this is John Anthony Francis Wilcox, and today is Saturday, the 27th of January, 2024. How you doing? So, some of you know, some of you don't. This is The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, the 1974 Genesis album, the last one to feature Peter Gabriel on lead vocals, and it tells the story of Rail. And what I was reading was from the inside of the gatefold. It's a little story that Peter Gabriel wrote to accompany the album. It's full of all kinds of fun little rhymes and alliterations, and it tells the story in a way and yet doesn't. It's actually a story about, I guess I would say, self-realization. What he goes through, the main character Rail, to get there, to get to self-awareness. So, anyway, that will come back to us later. Let's try and give an order to things. So I think I mentioned last time that my nephew Pat was going to come visit from the West Coast. And indeed he did. And it was wonderful to see him. I saw him Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday. And he left early on Thursday to go back to the West Coast. He was here mostly to visit his mom. And that went, I guess it went a little better than I thought it would. But I know it was a very difficult time for him. I felt very bad. You know, it's an emotional time. It was an emotional time for everyone. So I was very, very glad to see my nephew. I love all my nieces and nephews and greats, as you well know. And I hadn't seen Pat since before I was in the hospital in 2021. So it's been a while. So that was great. Always too brief. And like I said, that was Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday. So beyond that, I was very saddened. I mentioned this yesterday in my 6 songs video, to hear of the passing of the singer Melanie. And as I said, we had had several great conversations, saw her several times. She was a wonderful, unforgettable person, and I will miss her greatly. Wonderful musician. As wonderful as she was as a musician, she was even more so as a human being. So sometimes you meet someone and they're just that special, magical person that you just can't believe that there are still people like that in the world. So we lost a very bright light with Melanie. So she passed away at the age of 76 on Tuesday. And Wednesday morning, I did an interview with Steve Hackett. I think I mentioned I was going to do that. And that went well. And Steve said the sweetest thing to me. We were talking about his upcoming album, which I've been listening to. They sent me a stream of it. It's a wonderful album. And I was telling him what I thought of things and how much I enjoyed it. And he said to me, I want to listen to the album again, John, so I can listen to it with your ears. Because he was very touched by what I had to say about it. And I was very touched that he said that. Steve's another one of those who's an amazing person, great light of a human being. So it was a lovely interview. Beyond that, what's been going on? So, coming back to the lamb, uh, my nephew Pat, we were talking, and I was talking. I know he loves vinyl, and he buys a lot of vinyl. And I was saying how I've been buying vinyl and getting, even though I don't have a record player, I love looking at the artwork and the stuff. And I mentioned to him that one of the things that I missed was the lamb and was down on Broadway. And so he ordered me one off of Amazon. This little baby here. By the way, let me show you carefully that here in America it had come out on the the label itself was the Atco, subsidiary of Atlantic label, and these, thankfully, oh, I didn't even notice that. Look at that. Whoa, hold on a sec. Look at that. It's have I got it upside down? Yeah, there's rail on this side, and on this side it's the as I was saying, this is the famous Charisma label, which was what it was on in England. So lovely to have that. Now, see, I hadn't seen that rail on there. I wonder if she's on disc one as well. Let's take a look. We're sharing. We're sharing together. Let's see what's on the B side of disc one. Ooh, I'm all a tremble. Yes, it's rail busting out again. Um, the first image of this triptych. So look at that. There you go. And the lamb lies down on Broadway. For those of you who don't know this double album, it's quite a piece of work. It's very progressive, as they would say. It's a story, as I said. It's a lot of music to absorb. Some of it's fairly avant-garde for taste not used to such things. And if you feel adventurous, it's so worth your time. But you must listen to it all four sides. Some of it is sort of, even like the waiting room is frightening to some people. Um, it's definitely not party listening, I suppose I'd say. Although I would agree with, I remember years ago I had a conversation with a wonderful musician, Danielle Dax, and we were talking about the band The Residents. And I said, I always found The Residents to be a real room clearer in terms of friends because they're so unusual. And she said, I think it means you need to get better friends, John. Yeah, which was very Danielle in thought. So, talk about someone I miss. There's Danielle Dax, who I'm, for those of you who know her, know her. She has been absent from the music scene for a while. She dealt with a lot of physical and emotional abuse from people in her life, and she decided to stop doing music. And she was a real sweetheart. I'm sure she still is, of a human being. Up until I moved in 2010, I would get Christmas cards from Danielle every year. We stayed in touch. and because we really connected in person. If I've never told that story on here of our meeting, I'll do that sometime. But she was wow. Anyway, the lamb. The rest of my week, Grace Mary came and brought me communion on Thursday. Yesterday was I don't know, it was an okay day. It was gearing up for this coming Wednesday when I'm going to the doctor. So I had to arrange with a company called Veo to have a car pick me up and bring me to the doctor, and also then come and pick me up at the doctor and bring me back home. And the woman on the phone made me laugh because she said, "You know, we also do a thing where if your family someone in your family wants to bring you, we'll reimburse them for their gas and their time." And I said, um, if there was someone in my family that thought enough of me to bring me to the doctor, I would need to call Veo. I said, there's not a soul in my family that really wants to bring me anywhere. That's just the truth of it. So that's why, in all of 2023, I think I was out of Hales Court maybe 5 times, or was it four? 4 or 5, somewhere in there. That's it. That's how it is. That's welcome to my current life. Anyway, uh, I adapt. So I think all this fussing and fidgeting and everything, that's pretty much been my week. Talked to some people I know, and I don't know, worked this and that, stuff and things. So, oh, one last piece of show and tell that wasn't given to me that I purchased for like $3 because someone was selling it very inexpensively, and it came out a few years back. It was this wonderful Life magazine special, beautiful thingy with a slightly bent corner. That's okay. Um, of ABBA to coincide with their late 2021 release of Voyage, which is a beautiful, beautiful album. If you don't have it, I give it my highest recommendation. I'm sorry, I know I'm bending and shifting all over the place. So anyway, there you go. I think we're up to date. Oh, no, we're not. Special mention must be made. I was talking to my friend Marcy, who had to have surgery. She is recovering. She's been through a lot. So I love you, Marcy. Heal up, get better. Hopefully, when you heal up, we can see each other sometime this year. You're such a dear friend to me, which she is to those of you who aren't Marcy. Uh, and that's going to do it for this week. I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.